What is up, movie viewers? Dena Mo Views and Reviews here, asking what you watching. Well, today I am watching Megan, and this movie stars Allison Williams, Violet McGraw, Amy Donna, Jenna Davis, Ronnie Chang, and Jen Van Epps. It is directed by Gerard Johnstone. It is produced by Jason Bloom, Greg Gilreath, James Wan, and Michael Clear. It is written by Akilah Cooper and James Wan. In this movie, Allison Williams plays Gemma, and Gemma is a robotics engineer at a toy company. She builds a lifelike doll that she uses to assist her niece Katie, who she has unexpectedly become guardian to. Katie was in a car accident with her parents and she survived. However, her mother and father died in this accident. Allison was listed as the next of kin, Gemma, and she took custody of Katie in the event of their untimely death. Now, Gemma is a young single woman living alone and is heavily focused on her job and her assignments at work. And her assignment is to build and manufacture toys to compete with other toy companies and to outdo the competitor toy makers. So this young lady has to become the caregiver to this child. However, she is unequipped to deal with Katie's emotional responses on a daily basis. She has her own life that she has had for all of these years, and she has made her career the main thing in her life. However, she is unequipped to deal with Katie emotionally and on a daily basis. Since her life was all about her career and mainly developing artificial intelligence that can be used in toys to make her company money and to appeal to consumers as well as outsell the competitors, she wasn't prepared for taking on the role of guardian to this 8-year-old child. She and two of her co-workers have been secretly working on a prototype she developed, M3GAN. It is an acronym for Model 3 Generative Android. She calls it Megan for short. It is artificial intelligence that has been placed in the body of this doll. The doll is about 4 feet high, and it looks and behaves like a Caucasian human child. It looks like a Caucasian human being. So this artificial technology that Gemma uses in this doll enables the android to learn, to comfort, and serve as a companion for children when the parents cannot be there for them. This is an awesome discovery, and her boss is excited about it. But this makes Megan far from being an ordinary doll, for it is also able to adapt and learn from the children or whatever is going on in its surroundings over time. The robot has a girly appearance, as I've said before, and although at first it came off as a bit creepy, it is revealed its ability to show different human characteristics. Like it can be sad or happy or enraged. It can show humor or guilt and even the capability to comfort, and it makes her seem more realistic or human-like. But Gemma decides to give this Megan prototype, which she has made, to her 8-year-old niece. And the interaction appears to be assisting Katie with her grief upon losing her parents, and it enables Gemma, who devotes most of her time to work, and it allows her to kind of neglect her niece and allow this artificial intelligence to take the place of her in this child's life, rather than developing a relationship with her niece and helping her to cope with the loss of her parents. It allows Gemma to continue her workaholic behavior, and this doll in turn, artificial intelligence, bonds with her niece Katie instead. So Katie develops an attachment to Megan, and by the time Aunt Gemma realizes that she perhaps have made a mistake in pairing this android with her little niece, Megan has begun to take on a life of her own. Yes, indeed. Gemma soon found out that she has created a female Chucky, and the robot starts exemplifying some disturbing killer behavior. Now, I gotta say, in my opinion, they had one of the most horrible neighbors ever. That dog was a pure pest, and I was kind of hard to find sympathy for him after he bit the little girl. But the doll, Megan, at one point in the movie, she even had an attitude. And she had this wicked sense of humor. And when she would not turn off or turn herself back on after being manually turned off, that was the first clue to dismantle this Chucky. And this is why I gave this movie a 3.5 star out of 5, because I felt it to be a metaphor for the fixation with technology that we have today in this society, and the way this psychotic artificial intelligence was presented. It was wrapped up in a friendly little package that was gave the impression that it was harmless, even though it was devious, it was manipulative, it was a killer. So it is a bit of a cautionary tale for us all, but it also showed the importance of connecting with the ones you love and not allowing technology to do what you should be doing yourself. We pacify our children and often ourselves sometimes with these things that occupy our minds and our time, the cell phones and Nintendos, the PlayStation, social media, and most any form of technology that takes the place of human interaction. We allow these instruments to rule our lives and take the place of just common human interacting and sharing of experiences between one another. And it is evident today, even when attempting simple basic conversations with people sometimes. It is amazing to me how so many of us today don't know how to conduct conversations and use proper language and know what is appropriate and what is not appropriate to say. But many people today don't even know how to greet, conversate, or even conduct themselves in public. So it is partially it's like an eye-opener for some, and this overwhelming interaction with artificial technology and how we're not practicing some simple, what we would call civilized human interaction and behavior, and being preoccupied with some form of machinery. This is our wake-up call. It's a movie. We've seen it before, but I think we can learn from it either way. So I gave this movie once again a 3.5 stars. It was a good movie. I would not say that children should watch it, even though they see the doll and they think it's appealing. We have to remember that this is still a violent movie. It is a horror. It has some gruesome, bloody scenes. And yes, Megan is a killer robot doll. So keep this in mind when you are deciding whether or not your children should see this, because some of these ratings are just guidelines. We must remember this, and the decision is always up to you, parents, what you expose your children to. Now, Megan is rated TV-13, and if you would like to check out Megan, you most certainly can do so, for it is currently streaming on Peacock. It is being shown in some theaters, and it is streaming on a lot of different platforms. So just take a look on what you have available. You might find it there. Be sure to subscribe and leave me a comment on your thoughts on this movie. This has been Dena Views and Reviews. Like, share, subscribe, and join me for my next review and our recommendation. And I want you to remember, it's my view. Now, what you watching?